There we go.
Okay, when you log in to WeVideo, if you are in a Robinson account, yours is going to look somewhat similar to this. It won't be exactly. You will have a Robinson ISD logo right here, which will tell you that you are a member of the Robinson ISD account. You will have some different options. One of the great things about WeVideo, that I was telling you, they're always adding options. So you can record your podcast in here if you're doing podcasting with students, where it's just simply audio, recording audio. You can make GIFs. So basically, 30 seconds. Anything you want to put in, you can put a GIF or a GIF, however you want to phrase it. You can record screen recording or just recording you, so you can record directly into WeVideo without having to use a secondary platform like Screencastify or Loom, and then just your normal video editing that you're somewhat familiar with. All right, for now, I am going to jump in to a project that we've already kind of got going, and so I'm going to make a new edit. All right, so one good thing is I'm going to create a new project. So yeah, I jumped ahead. So when you create a new project, basically a project, think of it as like your file cabinet, and you're going to have a bunch of different files inside of your project. Okay, so you have different kinds of projects that you can do. First, personal, just what you're doing on yours by yourself. You have shared, where what the description reads: project members work separately or edited, but have access to shared media. So you can create a shared project and give a group of kids a list of videos, and they can all decide how they use it. And then you got collaborative, where it's basically one project, everybody's working together. And this is what we're focusing on today. Now, the key is that word beta. So what they're saying about beta is it's new. It's going to be a little glitchy at first. So they're working out the kinks. And one of the good things is the more people that work on it, the more they see and the better they can make it over time. But just understand that beta, until that beta goes away, there's some things that we're going to have to do to make it work well. All right. So I'm going to click collaborative. I'm going to title it Treasure Tuesday. I'll skip the description for now, and I'm going to hit next. So once you do, you can add members to your project in a couple different ways. So you can select people from a list, or you can invite them with link. Inviting with the link is generally the easiest, so you can get the link and you can put it out there on Schoology or Google Classroom, depending on what you have, and so for the kids to click on it.
So can I just select anybody? Like, do they have
Is your mic off?
Yes.
Okay.
Do they have to be a part of Robinson ISD? Can they have a free account?
Good question. My assumption, you're stumping me a little bit here, and so thank you for that. And so if one is working with Robinson ISD account, they all need to be in Robinson ISD account. And if you need help with that, I've got a really simple doc to get every single student uploaded into WeVideo that I can send you, and that you can distribute through Schoology and have them. It's got the links on it, everything they need to. But really, we want all the kids that are actively using WeVideo to create an account so that they have all the features, not just a small, tiny amount. We're paying for it. We want them to use it. Here's the deal. You may have kids that said, oh, I have an account. I used it like 3 years ago.
Well,
sorry. If they haven't really been in it in a year, we're going to take them out. We'll convert theirs to a free account, and they can rejoin later. Okay. So jumping in, for now, I'm going to select Willie just so that we can get rolling in what we have. I'm going to create this video. Okay, now the old collaborative with WeVideo, it was kind of like Eduphoria in the lesson planner. So one person can be in it at a time. Two people cannot be in it. It will not see each other. So one person would have to go in, they'd have to do their thing, and then they have to get right back out. Okay. and then the next person can come back in and do their thing, so on and so forth. Right now, everybody can be in on it at the same time. But again, there's some limitations. This isn't a Google Doc. It's not free flowing like Google Docs or Sheets or Slides have it. Okay, there are some things that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so since we've already done, we're kind of skipping past all the important stuff. I'm just going to use some video that I have already stored in here. I'm just going to take this right here. What we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of us in there. And so, Willie, are you in?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and join. So where students will find that at is in their My Projects or in their projects, and then in their Shared with Me. All right.
You want to take the screen
I'll take here real quick. I'll snatch it up here. Oh, there's that Present Now button. We'll just do my entire screen here. All right. And so over here on these projects, you'll see My Projects and then Share with Me. So here are all the different projects. And the reason why I see all these is because these are all the different people who have shared these different projects with me. And if I go here and I find the project called, what did you call it? Treasure Tuesday? Where'd it go?
Yeah.
Oop, there we go. There it is. Treasure Tuesday. Down there at the bottom. So I double click on it, and then I have to actually go in here and click on it again because it is a project there. And once I click on it, I don't hit the plus sign. If I hit that plus sign in the bottom right corner, it'll actually create a new project that I have to share with James and all that stuff. So they will actually click on the project. As you can see now, I'm in the same project as James. So I'm going to throw it back over here to you.
All right. Take this back over. All right. So now I can tell that Willie is in there because I can see his ID right here. And if he clicks in this video anywhere, I'm going to see him there as well. So right down here, I see Willie's logo, and that's going to tell me that he's working in this video right now. So again, we're talking about how best to use this collaboratively. So when Willie and I were practicing on this, what we found was that it would be best if each person had their own individual activity. So in this, I would be working in video 1, but Willie would be working with audio. So he would be finding the tracks, the recordings, but I would be doing all the cuts on video 1. If we had another student that we're working with, they would be working in video 2. Okay, every time that we saw something going on with us trying to do the same thing on the same link, it just wasn't working. We were having to reload and refresh, and that's the glitchy part of beta that we were talking about. So it really works best if one person is up here working on their individual section of the timeline, and another person is here. Now, this, again, is collaboratively, so everybody can be in at the same time. It works best if they're together, working in the same place, and they can communicate what's going on, what they're seeing, and if they have questions. But they can work remotely. They can work separately if need be. They don't have to be side by side doing it. And with that, I wrote down that it really helps if everybody has defined roles. So who's going to work on the clips? Who's going to work on the audio? Who's going to work on the transitions, the graphics, the voiceovers, the text? So having those individualized roles helps it work together. And once everybody kind of finishes their individual roles, that's when they come back onto focusing one device and that person moving it through on one device. So just like old WeVideo, if I want, I can take out sections and move it over. And as I'm working on video 1, Willie could be working on video 2, where he's editing and cutting it up. He's already added some audio. He's taken out links in video 1. Whatever I'm doing is not going to affect his because he's working on a different part. Remember, if I enlarge, I can see my sound. Ooh, let me fix that. Do that. I'm going to mute this for now to where I'm just listening to mine. So if you ever have daughters, you don't want them to ever sing this song. Just saying. Oh, and so I just wiped out my whole video. If I need to, my undo's right there. And right now, as I've hit my undo, not really having much happen. So because the undo, since it's collaborative, is also affecting what's going on with Willie, which is why, hey guys, everybody stop. I made a mistake. Stop doing what you're doing. Let me undo. And then once I refresh, hopefully it's going to pop right back where it belongs. If not, then I'm stuck. Do you see it?
Which one did you do? This one here, the baby part?
Yeah, the whole major. So, and again, as part of working with specific roles, taking your time, focusing on what you're doing. Thankfully, I had just started, and so I can bring it right back down in here and still work off of it. Cut out this intro, and we're good to go. Remember that if I mute this, Willie, is it muting it on yours as well? If I mute video 2, does it mute on yours?
Nope, it's letting me work independently of what it is that you're doing. So I like that a lot.
Okay.
So did you hear me say that?
Did y'all hear me say that?
Nope.
You did hear me say that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I did hear
All right.
you say that.
Okay.
This is a whole new experience for me, working in the same room with you again. So, anyway, all right. Kind of in a nutshell, that's the gist of what they have. So, I'm gonna work on adding a project that we can all collaborate on together. But as I'm doing that, what questions do you guys have so far? Okay.
So think about me thinking about those project-based type things that y'all are doing, where you do want students to, with those standards of communication, collaboration, stuff like that. I know y'all do a really good job, especially at our lower levels. No knock against our higher levels, but teaching community, teaching what it is to work in these project environments. Companies are requiring that of our students. Even colleges are. I know getting my master's, I had to work collaboratively with someone who was somewhere else on a project. I didn't like it, but I had to do it because they weren't doing the things that I wanted them to do. So, but I learned a lot, and being able to work and tolerate other people. Tolerate sounds like a bad word. Tolerance, and when it comes to working with folks and being able to communicate appropriately, not I can't believe you did that. What were you thinking? This sucked. Like teaching them those. So these are really good teachable moments.
And another thing that's going on, I'm looking to see who we have. Okay, we don't have any high school staff with us right now, But one of the things that we're working on this year is growing our AV department in the high school with Mr. Jenkins. So you'll see hopefully pretty soon, maybe after today on Twitter, we'll post some pictures of the AV room that's been completely transformed, cleaned out, painted, everything's up, lights, cameras, action, where they're going to start having video announcements, hopefully daily video announcements soon. But the students are the ones working with industry level products. And kind of what we were going back and forth about earlier is WeVideo is an amazing learning tool because it's really, really easy in terms of video editing. It's very user friendly, very simple. It can work on Chromebooks because it doesn't use up hard drive. And so it's a great introductory for those products. For our kids that are going to want to do stuff like this, that are going to want to host their own YouTube channels, and they're going to want to work in the AV industry. So this is a great introduction for them as they go into high school and have those opportunities to learn more about those specific projects and tools. So grab your media, choose a line. And one great thing about this, I like renaming it. So I'm gonna put Lessman on 1. She can do whatever she wants on 1. I'll put Adkins on 2. I'm gonna need a little spelling help. Z-C-J-R-S. Throw a little Mrs. Zacharias there. All right. Who else we got here? Get some Keen. So again, great thing about this is now you can even name their timeline for what they're working. So as they're working independently, now as you guys are working, if you hit the little snowman at the end of each person's section, you can move to where it says mute track. That way, as you're working on yours and you need the audio, you're not hearing others work as they are going on. So for me, I'm going to mute Adkins here so that when I'm watching Cloudberries, I can hear. But okay, we got about 5 or so minutes. As you guys are kind of dancing through this a little bit, what are ideas that you have for your specific areas that you would do, or things that you've done with your students that you could incorporate the collaborative part in? I forgot my camera's up there, not down there. I don't know.
Somebody deleted my clip. I'll have to put it back, but
I think it was Willie.
I guess I'm just thinking teacher-wise, if we put a project together, they're videotaping something in the classroom, and it probably would be more me editing and putting everybody dropping their clips in and editing or something like that. I don't know how well the littles would be able to maneuver this program.
Yeah, I would agree, but I like what you're saying because in the past, I feel like projects like that, we'd have to, everybody work on your clip, do it, finalize it, finish it, then send it to me. It feels like it can cut out a couple steps where it can all be in one project. It can all be cut up within one project without having to then upload it into this and that and another. And you can just work on it much more seamlessly. And so I like, Brittany, what you said about students creating their own documentaries. So how would that work as a group?
So I was thinking like one of two things, either in class, because like Megan said, we'll have kids that want to create a WeVideo for something and they want to work together, but then they can't. And then I'm also thinking history fair, when we have groups that want to do history fair together. That way they can all be working on their side of the project at a time. Or even like trying to find a little bit of collaboration between in-person students and remote students and letting them both work on something to, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out more ways to incorporate my remote students into class because I really, in my own mind, feel like that's something that they're missing, not being in class with other students.
Right. It also takes away those students that are quarantined. And so those that are there but get pulled out, they still have an opportunity to work through it with them. And so always ask where to get it. Yeah. Well, Willie? Okay, gotcha.
So, I mean, like you were saying, I mean, I think that when you start looking at the different possibilities of students not having to sit and wait on people, and a lot of them aren't contributing to the conversation. My daughter, in general, all the time, she's like, "Well, we're working in groups, but so and so isn't doing anything." Well, you can actually see, because remember, as a teacher, you can go in there and see their work too, and see who's working on what. I like that James brought up that you can name the tracks. Having them ahead of time, maybe do a script, have them turn this in to say who's going to be doing what, so you can look for those things. And so as you're going through with your rubric and grading, so that way, even you may have this wonderful project, but only 2 people worked on it out of the 5 groups. So think about that as you're working and planning these things out. So I really like this. I really like the and it. I'll be honest with you, we were messing with it last week. It's even better than it was when we were messing last week.
Yeah.
Like, I can actually see the edits happening, and we haven't had to refresh a ton of times to do that. So it's they're getting better every day with the beta stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. All right. And kind of off of what Willie's saying is, yeah, they are constantly improving. They're constantly adding new features, which is great thing with them. And so what was a lot more glitchy, I've used that term a lot last week, is running a little more seamlessly today. So then again, it also might be us just working a little bit better. It might be you having you guys do it instead of him. And so, but hey, thank you so much. If you want just any other tips or tricks with WeVideo, if you want any help brainstorming ideas, please reach out to either of us or the curriculum team. We'd love to come and help you get this up and running your class. And so thank you for your time. Thanks for coming today.